Now, a lot of people think that they have that figured out, right? Like, my most powerful version of me is this. But a lot of you don't. And because you don't, then you stay and fake it until you make it. And honestly, if you stay and fake it too long, then people realize you're fake. Because fake it till you make it is a lack of belief in yourself. So you have to find what is it that makes you show up for you and be seen, heard, loved, and cared for to yourself. And also is that glow up level that you're like, I know when my imposter syndrome shows up, if I do this glow up part, if I do this glow up activity, this glow up ritual, this showing up for myself ritual, I will stop faking it and start believing it. So what does that look like for you? Hi, welcome to Say More Words, a podcast that was created to emphasize the human experience through stories. I hope that you come here to learn, to expand, and most importantly, learn how to say more words. Speak your story, speak your truth, boo-boo. We're so happy you're here. Good morning, beautiful people. How are you? I decided that today was a perfect day. It's finally sunny out again to do a get ready with me because I'm just, kind of missing college and getting ready with my friends. And I wanted to talk about kind of like not a sensitive subject, but a good one to talk about while you're getting ready, I guess. Our song of the day is Abundance Fall by Mellowill. Just look it up. This guy he does manifestation music, and he did it over the Whisper song by the Yin Yang Twins. It's everything. So just know that it'll change your life. And I listen to it every morning, and it's my favorite. So get ready with me today. And this episode is for when you think you have to fake it till you make it. It's appropriate that we're doing makeup during this. For those of you that don't know, in a previous life, I was a professional makeup artist. One of my favorite side hustle career things that I've done. And as you can see, my eyebrows are already done because I decided after I did my eyebrows that we were doing this. So you may not see it actually if you're listening. Anyways, whatever. This is going to be very much like getting ready with your best friend. So in a previous life, I was a makeup artist. And I said that from the stage once, and a woman approached me after, and she's like, how can you talk about being authentic and being you and doing this, and you wear all this makeup and you do all these things? And I was like, oh, that's a very interesting. I'm like, so do you think that it's fake? And she goes, yeah, it's just a really fake version of you if you wear makeup. And I was like, that's a very interesting projection, and you are more than welcome to believe that makeup for you is a really fake version of you. But I'm not really, or I shouldn't say, I'm not classically creative. I don't paint. I have a sister who is a fantastic artist. I don't paint. I don't make pottery. I don't knit. I'm not, classically creative. I'm not a graphic designer, but I can throw down on the art of makeup. And I've always loved this scene. Actually, when I was doing makeup, I had started my business when I still do it every now and then for friends, but I was still doing this when I started my business. And it was actually, as I was doing the makeup of others, I realized how powerful it is to give women a space to feel like a really confident version of themselves with whatever it is that we're doing. Now, I'm not saying that makeup makes you confident, but I will say that one of the greatest things that I learned from Rosie Rainbow next door at Rose and Rivets is that if you feel good on the outside, you feel even better on the inside in whatever fashion that looks like for you. So the concept of faking it till you make it, because we hear this all of the time, right? You need to fake it till you make it. I think you need to glow up until you show up, or glow up to show up. Sometimes it's as easy as putting clothes on and getting out the door. Sometimes it's as easy as putting on a face of makeup, whatever makes you feel like a different, spicier version of you so that you can show up. But the underlying thing, if you're in this space right now where you're like, I feel like I'm having to fake it to show up all of the time, I want you to kind of sit with yourself and be in a moment of, if I'm constantly having to fake it, what am I avoiding? What work am I not seeking? And are you, or I guess, if you're faking it to make it all of the time, why don't you just start making it? What is it that you're avoiding? And I will tell you, this is a huge identifier of imposter syndrome. When you're having to continuously fake it to show up, we can get into this space where we maybe feel like we don't belong, or like the new level, new devil is not a new concept. Sometimes that new level requires us to get a little uncomfortable, that fake it till you make it, fake it to show up. But eventually you have to stop faking it, and you have to identify that this is now real. And imposter syndrome is one of those pesky devils that shows up and kind of sits in your subconscious. And your subconscious's only job is to keep you safe. And so she or he, whatever they are, they may be gender neutral, I don't know, but my subconscious is a she, so I say she. Very specifically, my subconscious are the two teams of the great 90s movie classic, Bring It On. My subconscious is either a Toro or a Clover. She's either good to me or bad to me, right? She's like, well, and not even bad to me. She's either good to me or she's sassy. Okay, the Clovers aren't bad. They're just really sassy. And so anyway, that's a little bit of a tangent. So our subconscious's job is to keep us safe. And so when we start moving into a new level of success, a new level of not even appearance, but just showing up, a new level of relationships, a new level of love in ourselves, our subconscious is like, whoa, hey, chill. This is what we are okay with. And this is what you are, this is what you're safe being, because this is who you've been. And we feel safe with who you've been. And so this imposter syndrome just starts popping up, and your subconscious works with, I'm going to call it the devil, because I do believe that imposter syndrome is the devil, to keep you small and keep you in this space of like, God, I'm faking it. Like, I'm not, this isn't real. So you have to show up in order to glow up. If you're in a, I need to fake it till I make it, you need to start saying, I need to show up until I glow up. I need to show up for myself. I need to show up for my environment. I need to show up for XYZ, whatever it is, in order to glow up to this new version. But eventually, you're faking it to make it comes show up to glow up. And in that show up to glow up stage is where you have to develop a level of belief that you are worthy of being here in this space. And I think that's the hardest part of it all, quite honestly, is believing in ourselves that this is important, that this matters. So I'm in a level right now, I'm going to be fully honest, imposter syndrome takes me down by the knees. And you all have heard me say that, you know, when you do this work, you have to continue doing this work. The new level, new devil, that's very real. You think that you've worked through something, and then all of a sudden, poof, it comes back because you're in a new level and you have to adjust, and you have to show up for that new version of you and learn what this new version of you is. And so it is so fun. My career has changed drastically over the last 6 months. A lot of my life, right? It's that law of reciprocity where I had a lot of bad, but a lot of good is coming in. And my career is exploding, and it's really cool. And people are like, well, where are you in the world today? And what are you doing? And who are you talking to? And what are you seeing? And who's in your world and all of that? And it's super fun. But I am in this level of imposter syndrome because I'm at this new level where I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you chose me? We have a really big announcement coming here in the next few weeks that is going to drastically change the face of my life and my business and all of these very fun things. And when I was approached about this opportunity, I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Me? Me? The girl who grew up in the middle of nowhere and is just kind of like not really throwing life together. I am not actually throwing life together, but these are the thoughts that I have in my head. Like, I just kind of threw this together. We'll figure this out. I'm throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, and that works, and this doesn't work. And essentially what entrepreneurship is. Fun fact. But they approached me and they're like, of course. Of course we choose you. We've loved working with you at the capacities at which we've already worked with you. We want to expand. And even though I know and I have a level of belief in myself for what I'm capable of and the hard work that I've done and the changes that I've made and the expansion that I've done to advance my own belief in myself, my imposter syndrome was like, girl, they meant to email somebody else. They meant to call somebody else. It isn't you, boo. Because it's like, it's a level of keeping me safe. Now, I am an Enneagram 8, and so vulnerability can be very hard. Exposure can be very hard. It being, I love being in the spotlight. What speaker doesn't? But there's just new levels that come with, and new responsibilities that come with it, that my imposter syndrome is like, meh, meh, meh. Warning, we don't belong here. You don't belong with these people. And so what you have to do is you have to find whatever actually makes you feel like your most powerful self. Now, a lot of people think that they have that figured out, right? Like, my most powerful version of me is this. But a lot of you don't. And because you don't, then you stay and fake it until you make it. And honestly, if you stay and fake it too long, then people realize you're fake. Because fake it till you make it is a lack of belief in yourself. So you have to find, what is it that makes you show up for you and be seen, heard, loved, and cared for to yourself. And also is that glow up level that you're like, I know when my imposter syndrome shows up, if I do this glow up part, if I do this glow up activity, this glow up ritual, this showing up for myself ritual, I will stop faking it and start believing it. So what does that look like for you? For me, honestly, I can get so bogged down by the mundaneness of the things that we have to do for our jobs and work and things like that, that I will wear, like yoga pants for 20 days in a row if I'm not on stage. Or if I'm not on stage, I just won't put on like normal clothes. So a level of faking it till you make it for me is waking up, doing my makeup like we're doing right now. I'm doing more talking than my makeup, but whatever. I love, and I'm not telling, if you are a woman and you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to do a full face of makeup. That's fine, boo. That is your prerogative. For me, that's what does it for me. I love, putting on the lashes and doing the hair and putting on not, for those of you that are not, or that are listening, I'm backing up so you can see, I don't have sweatpants on today. I'm also filming for Sam's Club today. But I digress. Getting myself together so I can feel like a really confident version of me, so that I can show up as a very confident version of me. Actually, one of my good friends and we did this thing. We're like, okay, for a month, I got eyeliner all up in my eye. For a month, we're going to get dressed every day. And we're going to see how that changes how we feel. We're going to see how we show up. Sometimes for me, it's not even getting dressed. It's like putting on heels. I used to wear heels all the time. Do you know what I love more than anything in the world? The way that my legs look in heels. Okay. And it's not about attracting other people. It is about attracting myself. I'm basically hitting on myself when I'm wearing heels because my legs look great. And it gives me a strut and a confidence. Okay. Those are just external things that I do to get me into a place of glow up for myself. I do feel better. I show up better. I laugh better. When you are in a curmudgeon-y sweatpants stuck in your blanket state, that you're really not getting much done unless it's a bogged down day. where you have to get a lot of stuff done. Sometimes my marketing days look like that, or my meeting days look like that. And that version of you is good. So I don't want you to be in this place of shame, blame, or guilt while you're listening to this. The version of you that requires downtime is good. The version of you that requires sweatpants and your hair tied up and no makeup and not talking to it, that version of you is still good. It's just we can't live there. We can't stay in a space where we're scared to show up as our most authentic and powerful self. And I find that when I am in those states, I'm not always my most authentic self. Sometimes I'm hiding when I'm bogged down like that. So you have to figure out what your glow up is. It could be as simple as, instead of getting up and getting dressed, blasting whatever music you love that makes you feel alive again, because there's such power in music. You all know how I feel about music and the glow up that exists inside of music. I have certain music for certain things, right? Like, we love a Broadway musical show up. If I'm blasting Broadway tunes, you know that I am cleaning and I am getting down to work, or I'm organizing, or I'm changing something. If I am blasting early 2000s club hits, it's because I am looking for the absolute feral, confident version of me that was 21 years old and could fight grown men. Okay, that version of me was insane, but she was so fun and carefree. And sometimes I have to harness that version of me in order to do really hard things, because that version of me was a super externally confident version. Now I'm a little bit more internally confident, still externally confident, but I am more internally confident. And I find that playing Lil Wayne makes me even more internally confident. So I am not completely done with my makeup, because I didn't do it the whole time I was talking to you. But I want you to know that every version of you is good. We can't stay in the hard versions. And if you are in a state of faking it, it's time for you to believe. So you need to find that routine. You need to find that thing that you can add to your day that makes you believe. Sometimes, so what Todd Herman has a book called The Alter Ego Effect. And he talks about how, instead of faking it till you make it, to his basically show up to glow up, is his glasses. So every day when he leaves his home, he puts his glasses on, and it's an alter ego for him that he's going to work, he's going to show up, he's going to be confident, he's going to make decisions, he's going to do all of these things. And when he comes home, he takes them off and he's a different version. He's the dad, he's the husband, he does all. It helps him kind of identify different parts of his life. You can do the same thing, where if you're starting to feel like imposter syndrome is taking over, then you can have kind of an alter that, or an item that you put on. It's like, okay, I'm going to anchor in the feeling of confidence. I'm going to anchor in a feeling of belief. And while I may still in my mind think that I am faking it, I am going to anchor belief into this item until I believe. You could do that too. Get you some confidence bracelets. I'm just letting you know that life is too good to be faking it all of the time. And if these good things are happening to you, I'm just letting you know that it's on purpose. Similar to the last episode, you are allowed to experience joy, you are allowed to experience happiness, and you're allowed to experience those things without bad things also happening. Okay? So if you're faking it, it's time to show up and glow up, find your routine, and show up on your behalf. If you need a little inspiration, you need something to laugh at, you need a friend to talk to or a friend to get ready with, like, subscribe, share this podcast with everybody that you possibly can. Follow me on all social media. I am the Tamika Taylor, and you will find friends, you will find people in this community, and you will find a space to be seen, heard, loved, and cared for exactly as you are. We will hold you in belief until you believe it as well. Okay? So please stay here in this space and remember that you are worthy of all good things, and it's time to stop faking it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out and take over the world. Find out what your your altar item is and go be your most magnificent magnetic self. Have a great day, friends. Bye.